Good evening, guys. James Laney here. Got another little video for you tonight, and we're just going to cover choosing your first handgun, choosing your 50th handgun, however many handguns you have. But I'm just going to give you a few tips on how to select the right handgun, and make sure it's going to fit you right, and make sure you're going to be able to shoot it good. So before we get into that, if you like my videos, please hit the subscribe button. I believe it's in that corner. I've had to flip a few things around, but it should be in that corner. Please click on that, subscribe to my video. I'm trying to get to the magic 1,000 number, and I'm creeping up there. But please subscribe. If you like my video, give me a thumbs up. If you got any comments, put any comments down in the section. And please go check out some of my other videos. So, with that out of the way, let's get into what we're going to talk about tonight. And what we're going to talk about tonight is just choosing a handgun. Like I said, there's a lot of new gun owners out there. There's a lot of people looking for guns out there. We're actually getting some choices now because the market's starting to come back around after COVID. So, how do you select that right gun? Do you go pick that gun because somebody said, hey, my brother that was in Vietnam used a Glock and he killed 500 people with it and it's the best gun ever? Do I go buy that gun? Maybe. Buying a quality gun versus a cheaper gun can have some benefits to it. There are diminishing returns when you get into the more expensive guns. If it's your first time buying a gun, is a $1,500 1911, $3,000 1911 the right gun for you? Probably not. Does that mean a high point's right for you? No, probably not. I would recommend, buying a minimum quality in a gun, and my recommendation for a good starting place in minimum quality would be a Taurus. They're a pretty good bang for your buck. Is there a difference between a $300 Taurus and a $600 SIG Glock? Yeah, there is. Whether you see it, feel it, shoot it, know the difference or not, there is a difference in quality. You are going to get some of what you pay for in that. I've had people go buy Tauruses, absolutely love them. I've seen people buy more expensive guns and they dislike them. Generally when people spend more on a gun, they have a higher expectation of a gun. So where they buy a cheaper gun, they're saying, oh, well, for that price, it's great. So, whether you buy a Glock, whether you buy a SIG, whether you buy a Springfield, whatever you go buy, don't go buy a high point. Start with at least a Taurus, something like that, and go up. But, you go out there, you go to your gun shop, your local gun shop, you go to Cabela's, Bass Pro, whatever they want to call it nowadays. You've got lots of options, and the new person might be a little overwhelmed. They may know absolutely nothing about guns, and they may only know what they've seen on TV. If you're the experienced guy that's going out and you're buying your 30th handgun and you have a really good idea of what you're looking for, you still may benefit from some of these tips. So, regardless of your experience level, never be afraid to ask some questions, try to put your hands on them, because really selecting the right pistol for you, you really need to go get them in your hands. Even better yet, you need to go try to shoot them. If you go to a gun range where you can rent them, things like that, give that a shot, because there's a lot of differences. What's the difference between a Glock and a 6-hour? There's a lot of ergonomics about that pistol that are different. They're both great pistols. You're going to have your Glock guys that say, oh, you're going to die if you buy anything but a Glock. Maybe that's true, maybe that's not. I haven't yet. But, don't be afraid to experiment with other brands that if you've got 15 guns and every single one of them are a SIG, go try something different sometimes, because you might be surprised when that gun points a little more naturally for you. So that's going to bring me to my first thing that I want to talk about is natural point of aim. Some people don't believe in it. Some people don't know what it is. But finding a gun that matches your natural point of aim will put you ahead of the game. So, for instance, I shot a Glock many years in competition, and I shot it pretty well, but I had to work with it, and it just never really clicked for me. So I switched to a 1911, my scores went up, and everything was better. Now, if you sit back and you look at something like that and say, why did the 1911 shoot better for me? And your 1911 guys out there are going to be like, well, that's because the 1911 is just better. No, it's not. It's just different. The big difference between the two is the grip. For me, the grip angle on a Glock, I could just never really get quite right. Where the grip angle of a 1911 was more natural fit for me. So, looking at a couple different guns, I want to talk to you about this one first. This is a Springfield XDM. These come with an interchangeable backstrap. And I was at the range the other day and I was talking with a guy about pistols. And he had a pistol with an interchangeable backstrap. And I said, did you try a couple different backstraps? No. I went by feel, what felt best. This backstrap filled my hand better. And before we get into that, I do want to say that all these guns have been checked, all of them are unloaded, and I'm going to ask you to go and play with some of your guns. When you go and play with some of your guns, make sure they are unloaded. If you accidentally shoot your wife, I'm going to make the disclaimer right now that it is not my fault that you shot your wife, or any of your children, or whoever you're wanting to get rid of in your house. It was not my fault that you shot them. So all my guns are unloaded. They have all been checked before this. So I will try to follow safety rules as much as absolutely possible. But in trying to show you some things, you may see some things that are not 100% kosher with safety. So now getting back to the Springfield here. They have an interchangeable backstrap. The guy I was talking to at the range the other day, he had a gun with interchangeable backstraps, and he said he'd never, he was purely going off feel. And that's not right or wrong. A lot of people do that, but the main purpose of having that interchangeable backstrap is to adjust your natural point of aim. You're going to notice that some are flatter, some will have a little bit more of a hump. That helps bring the gun up and down in your hand. So that is critical in matching your natural point of aim. So, when you grab that gun, get a good grip, close your eyes, and point it at something, and open your eyes and see if the sights are aligned for you. If you're coming up and the sight is high, low, and I'm talking about your front sight here. If that front sight is high or low and it's not matching up evenly with the rear sight, change that backstrap out and go to one to offset it. More curvature back in this area will push the gun up. Less curvature will pull the gun down. So that is critical in getting your natural point of aim set. And if you can get a pistol that points to your natural point of aim, you're going to fight that pistol less and shoot it better. So like I said, there will be people that disagree with me on that. So like I said, some people don't believe in natural point of aim. Some people do. Try it. I promise you, you will probably shoot better and it will be easier. So that brings me up to, I love this gun, by the way. This is a great gun. I shoot it extremely well. It runs extremely well. I've let people run this in some of my handgun classes. They generally like it a lot. It runs very reliably. Is there a few things I don't like about it? Yes, I don't like that it has a grip safety. I wish it did not have a grip safety. But other than that, I really like this gun. It's got ambidextrous controls. And I'm not sponsored by Springfield in any way. So like I said, that's an honest review of that. So let's look at a different gun. So I've got that Springfield set up with a backstrap that matches my natural point of aim. So this is a SIG X5 Legion. It does not have interchangeable backstraps, but this angle of it fits my natural point of aim. And when you go, there's lots of things that can alter how that pistol aims for you. You know, if you make that grip wider, narrower, you know, wider this way, narrower this way, that can all affect it. You know, not only do grip angles affect it, thicknesses and things like that can have an effect on that as well. So this pistol has a really good natural point of aim for me as well. So the next pistol I want to show you is a pistol that I really enjoy. This is a CZ TS2. This is not an inexpensive pistol. These run $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. And unfortunately, I was not able to try one of these out before I purchased this. I still like this pistol. I shoot it well. I can shoot it relatively fast, but it has a little more hump here in the back for the grip angle, which causes it to point just a little bit high for me. So this pistol does not fit my natural point of aim. Does that mean I don't like the pistol? No, it means I have to work a little harder and practice a little bit more to get this pistol to shoot the way I need it to. And you know, one thing a lot of people will do is they go to a range and all they do is stand there and fire. And that's not really, you know, if all you're doing is target shooting, that's fine. You know, you're probably going to be able to get a lot out of that pistol, but if you're ever drawing that pistol, you know, for a concealed carry gun, for a home defense gun, anything like that, where you're having to pull that pistol out and come up from a not an ideal situation, you know, out of a holster, out of a nightstand, whatever you're pulling it out of, you know, having that pistol come up and point the way you need it to is critical. This pistol does not do that for me. So, like I said, I like this pistol. This pistol runs great. It is incredibly accurate, but it doesn't point to my natural point of aim. So now, a few pistols that you're going to struggle with, because there's a couple pistols out there that you may have to choose and go with a pistol that you're probably not ever going to get it to fit your natural point of aim. And one of those is a concealed carry gun. You know, sometimes you're going to make sacrifices to have that reduced size. And, you know, sometimes you can get lucky and you can find one that fits your point of aim. So this is a SIG P365. This is my everyday carry gun. And I like this gun a lot. I shoot it really well and it fits my natural point of aim. Now, I've had concealed carry guns that did not, but I carried them just due to the size. There's a lot of different options in this category. Try a lot of them. You know, the 365 is my top choice. It's been a great pistol for me. It's a very durable pistol. It's a very accurate pistol. For its size, it's very easy to shoot. It's got a really good capacity, things like that. You can get extended mags where you can put your pinky finger and everything like that. So, because if you notice, my pinky finger hangs off. So getting that little pinky control really helps in controlling these. So, but it has a grip angle that fits my natural point of aim. It's a little narrower, and it didn't really affect my point of aim in this scenario. But SIG thought this out really well. You know, a couple of other options that are really good that I've looked at. The Springfield Hellcat is a good pistol. That would be my number 2 choice. They run about the same price as these. The big thing that I will say it really sets them apart, other than the magazine capacity, the Hellcat holds just a few more rounds than this, depending on the magazine, is the trigger. The trigger on the Hellcat is mediocre at best, where the trigger on these is very, very nice. The grips are fairly similar. The grip angle on the Hellcat fits me fairly well. Not as nice as this one. But like I said, you may end up having to sacrifice some natural point of aim. Even though, like I said, I would encourage you to get out there, look at some different pistols, feel some different pistols, try to shoot some different pistols, and see if you can find one of these that fits your natural point of aim. You know, if you need the absolute smallest pistol and you're trying to carry like a little Kel-Tec 380 or something, it's probably not going to fit you well. Those are not fun to shoot. I have several of them. They're not fun to shoot. They're not comfortable whatsoever, and they don't point well. They don't have good sights on them. You know, and you know, another thing to look at is, you know, if you're choosing your first handgun, you know, you're gonna have to make the decision: are you carrying this for defense? of yourself for concealed carry, or are you going to be carrying it, you know, out in public, wearing it daily? Are you looking for that home defense gun? You know, a lot of these are going to come into your decision process as well, because, you know, if you're not carrying it, don't go small. You know, it's one of those things where I've seen people and talked to people that they go buy a subcompact gun like this and then they stick it in a dresser drawer. If you're going to just stick it in a drawer at your house for a home defense gun, there's absolutely no reason to not go for a little bit larger of a pistol. A lot of people will have and this will be your new people, I'm not referring to you people that have a ton of guns and have done a bunch of shooting, but for you new people that are looking to purchase your first handgun, smaller handguns don't equal less recoil. You know, there are some exceptions to that, because that could be a 22, something like that, but generally speaking, the smaller the handgun, it's going to be less accurate, it's going to be harder to control, and it's going to have more recoil to it. You know, this is a 9mm. This is a 9mm. Matter of fact, all these guns out here that I had, these are all 9mm. You know, these are heavier. You can get a full grip on one of these. And, you know, being able to get a full grip on a pistol is going to help you in being able to shoot it accurately. It's going to be able to help you in, you know, controlling it, faster follow-up shots, things like that. So, like I said, if you're just looking for a home defense gun, go for a full-size gun. You know, if you're a woman or somebody with smaller hands, you know, you may have to shop around and find a full-size or a compact size that you can get a full grip on that fits your hands. So, you know, another thing that is important is, you know, talking about the size of handguns, is finding one that fits your hand. So I'm going to use the CZ here because it's got a fairly large grip. This is a double stack grip. I don't have a magazine in it. The magazine on these holds 20 rounds. But it's a fairly, you know, some people are going to find this too big. So I recommend finding a handgun that you can get your whole finger in there up to the joint. If you can see this, you can see the joint in my finger. The trigger is going to set right in here for me. So you can kind of see that right there. I like that pistol sitting, or the trigger sitting just in front of the joint in my finger. So if you're reaching, you know, if you're a lady that has smaller hands, or if you're a guy that has smaller hands, and you're doing this and you can only get that tip of that finger in there, that pistol is not right for you. I'm not saying you'll never master it, you'll never learn how to shoot it, but you're going to be fighting an uphill battle with that pistol. Get a pistol that has a shorter reach to the trigger. So, you know, this has a fairly large grip. The Sig Legion also has a fairly large grip, but I can easily get my finger in that with no problem. So now, obviously, smaller guns, you know, like this Sig 365, I can easily get more than I need to get into. So, like I said, take that into consideration when you're going to find your first pistol. You know, a couple other things to consider is the weight of the pistol. You know, this CZ, this is more of a competition pistol. This is not really a home defense. It could double as a home defense pistol, but I wouldn't want to use this for concealed carry or anything. This is in the 40-ounce range. It's fairly heavy, especially with a fully loaded 20-round mag. This is a hefty pistol. It's all metal. It's not very light. Now, you take this 365, it's probably around 15, 16 ounces. It has a 10-round magazine. If you're using the standard mags, you can get some 11, 12-round mags for it. But it's a lot lighter. It's a lot more comfortable to carry. It's really easy to conceal. You know, talking about concealment just a little bit, if you're looking for a gun that you're going to carry all day, Barrel length is important, but hiding a barrel here is not the hard part. The hard part comes in concealing the grip, because especially I'm not skinny, I'm a little fat. So my gut tends to want to poke that out just a little bit to make it obvious that I'm carrying a gun. So if you're going with a larger handgun than a subcompact, you're going to go with a compact or a full-size handgun. Really, what you really got to watch for in concealing that gun is the grip length. So consider that, and then consider the weight. A couple of other things I want to talk about are sights. If you're looking for a gun to just go out and shoot, it's going to need probably a different set of sights than what you're going to use in a home defense gun, where you could be shooting in some darker conditions, or a concealed carry gun where you might have darker conditions. So sights on this are night sights. So these are tritium night sights. They glow in the dark. They're very easy to see. I don't want to turn all my lights off right now because it's a pain in the butt, but they're very easy to see. You probably get, I don't know if I can kind of give you a little bit of an idea, but very easy to see. So now this has more target sights. And what I'm talking about, if you look at the back and compare the two, you're going to notice the SIG here has little green dots that are going to glow in the dark. This one has nothing. So it's completely black, because a lot of target shooters like a black sight with some kind of a fiber optic front sight. So the sight on the front of this one is just fiber optic. So it kind of gathers a little bit of light, and it appears to glow, although if I turned out all the lights, it's going to be just as black as this back sight. So like I said, out in the daylight, a little bit of lighting, you can pick up the fiber optics, but you probably don't want that all black rear, because like I said, in a darker condition, you're not going to be able to pick that up. So same thing for this SIG Legion. This is more of a target pistol, and you're going to notice the same thing on it. It has a green fiber optic front with just a black rear as well. So now there are some pistols so Springfield XDM, these are not night sights, it just has white dots, and they're fairly visible. Now in the dark, you're not going to be able to see these whatsoever, like the night sights, but these are still fairly easy to pick up even in lower light conditions. So kind of think about what kind of sights you want. That's going to play into the cost of the pistol, because night sights cost extra. So like I said, try to find pistols that have a natural point of aim for you, because I promise you're going to shoot them a little bit easier. That's why you see some people shoot some guns really good, and then somebody else picks a gun up and they can't shoot it good. Just the ergonomics of that pistol just don't fit them quite right. So think about that when you go to do that. Like I said, obviously cost, if you're looking for that first pistol, I would really concentrate in that $400 to $600 range. You're going to probably get a fairly quality gun in that price range, and it's probably going to be reliable. A lot of these manufacturers offer a fairly good warranty and customer service, things like that. Some of them, their customer service is less than stellar. Like I said, I did a video with Smith & Wesson where somebody that I knew had to do some warranty stuff, and they fixed them up, no problem. I had the exact same problem. They wouldn't help me at all. So like I said, some have customer service that's a little hit and miss. This pistol right here, there was a defect in the night sights after I bought it, and one of the night sights went dead, where it would no longer glow in the dark. So I contacted SIG, and they were really good about it. They said, hey, send me a picture of the sights. I sent them a picture. It was clearly a dead sight. And then they gave me the option of either sending the pistol in, the slide, into them so they could replace the sights, or they offered to just send me the sights to where I could replace them myself. So I went ahead and I could have replaced the sights, but I was just kind of curious to see how their turnaround and everything was going to be. So I sent the slide into them, and in under 2 weeks I had my slide back and with a new set of sights on it. So like I said, I was really happy with their service, customer service. It was top notch. So hope this video helps you. Like I said, if you've got any questions, comments, put them down in the comment section. If you want to see any future reviews or anything like that, put me a comment down there and I'll see if I can't get to it. I'm going to start a couple new series coming up. You know, whenever I get bored, I may just pull a gun out of the gun safe and do a review on it for you guys. If there's something that you want to see, just let me know. We'll see what we can't do. So, like I said, good luck on choosing a handgun, whether you're new, whether you're experienced. You know, put some thought into it. Don't just follow the pack and pick a gun that you're seeing a whole lot of people like, or you're hearing about on the news, something like that. You know, don't go buy a Glock just because your friend's got a Glock, or, you know, don't go buy a 6 Hour just because your friend's got a 6 Hour or something like that. Like I said, all of these handguns are good. Choose the best one for you. And in doing that, like I said, fit, you know, how that gun fits you and how your confidence in that gun is important. So, like I said, put some thought into it. And like I said, if you have any questions, be sure to put it down in the comment section, and we'll see you guys later.